In this video, we're going to discuss how to set up your web host so that you can actually host your files and get your website up and on the internet. So the first thing you're going to do is go to hostgator.com. Hostgator.com. So go right on over to hostgator.com. It's going to look like this when you get there. And I'm going to take you through the process here of comparing your web hosting options so that you understand which web host you should go with and the pros and cons of each one. So go to hostgator.com, and the first tab you'll want to click on is web hosting. You're going to see several options up here at the top for web hosting. The first one is web hosting. That's where you're going to be, especially if you're just starting out. Reseller hosting, just so you understand what that means. Reseller hosting is so you can actually have a client management tool, so you could actually host websites for other people. So if you happen to have like a web design business or a local business where you want to actually host websites for local people, you could actually choose the reseller hosting option. VPS hosting is another option. VPS is just another, it's more of a dedicated server. It's a lot more expensive depending on the direction you go compared to normal web hosting. Then there's dedicated servers, which is the highest amount. Especially if you're starting out, you probably aren't going to necessarily need to go this direction. So you'll be just fine actually starting out with the web hosting. But dedicated servers is, just so you know, it's basically you're the only one on the server. It's got its pros and cons. Of course, one of the cons is it's expensive. One of the pros is it's more private. You can do a lot more with it. As far as setup of it, it can be a little more complicated to get going with. So generally, if you're brand new, setting up your very first website, and I know a lot of people that make a lot of money on the internet, and all they use is the web hosting, the most basic web hosting. They don't go with dedicated, reseller, or VPS hosting. So that's what those are. I wanted to point those out so you aren't confused when you get to HostGator as far as your different web hosting options. So the first thing you want to do, again, once you're at hostgator.com, choose web hosting. This is also referred to as shared hosting as well. You can go over here and pick your different options. I will go over each one with you. The hatchling plan, that is for, like it says here, a single web domain. So that means if you're only going to have one website, that's the plan you would go with. Now these prices here where they say starting at $396 a month, that would actually be the lowest price they go to if you lock in for 3 years. Meaning you take that price of $396 or this price of $636 or this price of $1036 and you multiply it by 36, because that's your price per month. So that's kind of what that price structure means. So you get a better price break if you buy them in bulk, especially if you're starting out, you're on a budget. I recommend people just go with the monthly option because, quite frankly, there's really nothing bad about, having it just bill your card every month. That way your startup costs are as low as possible. The Hatchling plan, it gives you that unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, and the single domain. But I recommend, because just for a few dollars more, like as you can see here, for 80 cents more a month, you can actually get unlimited domains. So let's say down the road you get going with the one website, you want to actually get a couple more websites. It's a whole lot easier to just add on a domain to your current plan. So if you're brand new, probably the most popular plan would be the baby plan, especially if you're paying the monthly route. It's going to be quite a bit cheaper than even the business plan. If you do plan on getting a little more traffic even, and you need like that private SSL, so let's say you're going to be processing credit cards on your actual website, that's not through like PayPal, because PayPal's already secure, or ClickBank, that's already secure, those kind of things. But if you're actually running the credit cards on your own websites, you would want to definitely shift to the business plan. But for those starting out, I always recommend the baby plan is probably your best option. So let's say that you select the baby plan within HostGator here. You would make sure you scroll down here to choose the option that fits your budget needs. Generally, it's going to be monthly, or you could just pay for the whole year at once. Then you don't have to worry about it. So that's completely up to you. And then choose Order Now. Now they give you two other options. One is when you're setting up your account, you can enter a domain name, or you can say I currently have a domain name. So we're going to go ahead and say I have a domain name because we just registered it. And I know that seems kind of silly to do that because they are giving you, helping you register a new domain here. But it's a lot easier to actually, I always recommend to have your web hosting somewhere else and your domains elsewhere, so don't kind of have them all in the same place unless you decide to host with GoDaddy, which offers that option. That's completely up to you. HostGator is just, generally for people brand new, it's a lot easier to work with and manage. So generally speaking, you want to actually keep your domain and your hosting separate. That way it's a lot easier, especially when certain services can get hacked and different things like that. So it's good to kind of have them separated. So you're just going to put in the domain that you just registered, so shoulderpainresource.com, or if you already have a domain registered, obviously you would just put that in here. And then at this point, you're just going to go ahead and choose the package that you want to go with. So you're going to choose Hatchling, Baby, or Business. So we're going to choose Business. And now here's one thing to keep in mind with HostGator that I definitely want to point out is that when you are going in this direction as far as the billing cycle goes with HostGator, and they have some sort of promotion running, sometimes they have 30% off for like the spring or summer, sometimes it's 20% as you see right now. It's going to only take that percentage off your very first bill. So if you do want to take advantage of the discount, I would recommend at least getting the web hosting for 12 months because you're going to save 20% off the $120 rather than just 20% off the first bill of $9.95. So that's kind of a tip to actually save you some money if they do have a promotion running like they do here. Because if you just pay for this 1 month, you're actually only going to pay $7.96, I think it was, is what it was showing. So you're going to save 20% on your first bill. But if you go this direction, the 12 months, you're actually going to end up saving quite a bit more. So you're going to end up saving about $25, $30 for the whole year. So that's a lot better option to go with, and that's up to you. Put in your username, choose a security PIN, and then put in your credit card or PayPal information so that you can lock this in. You don't necessarily need to add SiteLock. You can choose that. GoMobi website builder. That's an additional add-on of $4.95 a month. Unless you're going to be doing a ton of mobile, you may want to just skip that because there are some other mobile builders out there as well. So let's go down here, and then we'll go ahead and select that. We're going to take off the SiteLock, and so this is like your first bill due is $7.96, and if you decide to go with let's say the 12-month option, it's going to actually save you $23.88 instead of $2 or whatever it was. So you decide how you want to do that, but that's how you set it up. Then just choose create your account, and that's going to automatically create your web hosting account.